When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done. When the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grey Malkin.
Paddock calls.
Anon.
Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He can report as seemeth by his plight of the revolt in new estate.
This is the sergeant who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend! Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him. From the western isles of kerns and gallow glasses is supplied, and fortune upon his cursed quarrel smiling. But all's too weak, for brave Macbeth, well he deserves that name. Disdaining fortune, with his brandished steel which smote with bloody execution, carved out his passage like valor's minion, till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chops, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Oh, valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
Mark, King of Scotland, mark. No sooner had justice with valor armed compelled those skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, as sparrows eagles, or the hare the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons, overcharged with double crack, so that they doubly redoubled their strokes upon the foe. Except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds or memorize another Golgotha, I cannot tell. But I am faint. My gashes cry for help.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds. They smack of honor, both. Go, get him surgeons. Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
What a haste looks through his eyes, so should he look that seems to speak things strange.
God save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict. Till that Bellona's bridegroom, brave Macbeth, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point rebellious, arm against arm, curving his lavish spirit, and to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Yes! Great happiness. No more this Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, pronounce his present death, and with his former title, greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Where hast thou been, sister?
Killing swine.
Sister, where thou?
A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I, around thee which the rum-fed Runyon cried. Her husband's to Aleppo, God, master of the tiger. in honesty, I'll thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do.
I'll give thee a wind.
Thou art kind.
And I another.
I myself have all the other, and the very ports they blow all the quarters that they know in the shipman's cart. I shall drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live a man forbid. Weary sea nights 9 times 9 shall he dwindle, peak and pine. Though his bark cannot be lost, yet he shall be tempestuous. Look what I have.
Show me.
Here I have a pilot's thumb, wrecked as homeward he did come.
A drum. Macbeth doth come.
The weird sisters, hand in hand, hosters of the sea and land, thus to go about, thrice to thine and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up 9. Peace. The charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
A forest called the Forest. What are these, so withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth and yet are on it? Live you, or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me by each at once her choppy finger laying upon her skinny lips. You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak if you can, what are you?
Hail, Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis!
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail, Macbeth. Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly ye show? My noble partner you greet with present grace, and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope that he seems rapt withal. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail. Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail, Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you.
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, and what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed.
Were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
I'm Thane of Cawdor too, when it not so.
To the self-same tune in words. Who's there?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success, and when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend that which should be thine or his. As thick as hail came post with post, and everyone did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defense, and poured them down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee.
And for an earnest of a greater honor, he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which edition hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebels with hidden help or vantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wreck, I know not. But treason's capital confessed and proved have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you into the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and sometimes to win us to our harms, the instruments of darkness tell us truths. Win us with honest trifles, to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise and nothing is but what is not.
Look, our partner's rapt.
If chance will have me king, why, chance may crown me without my stir. Come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me a favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered where every day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and at more time, the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
Is execution done on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back, but I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like the leaving it. He died as one that had been studied in his death. To throw away the dearest thing he owed us 'twere a careless trifle.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin! The sin of my ingratitude even now is heavy on me. All I have left to say, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty we owe in doing it pays itself. Your highness' part is to receive our duties. And our duties are to your throne and state, children and servants, which do but what they should by doing everything safe towards your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, who hath no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee, and hold thee to my heart.
There if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose places are the nearest, know we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter Prince of Cumberland.
Yeah.
Which honor not unaccompany him only, but signs of nobleness like stars shall fall upon all deservers. From hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
The rest is labor which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down, or else or leap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires.
A true noble Banquo. He is full so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him, whose care has gone before to bid us welcome. He is a peerless kinsman.
They They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. As I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me and referred me to the coming on of time. With hail, king that shalt be. This have I thought good, to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightest not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell.
Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, yet without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily, wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirit in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who wert so would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thought, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breasts, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substance as you prey on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the night to cry, hold, hold! Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself to our gentle senses.
This guest of summer, the temple-haunting martlet doth approve. Where they most breed and haunt, I have observed, the air is delicate.
See our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometimes is our trouble that we still see as love. Herein I teach you how you shall bid God ild us for your pains and thank us for your trouble.
All our service in every point, twice done, and then done double, were poor and single business to contend against those honors broad and deep, wherewith your majesty loads our house.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heels and had a purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, hath holpen to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight. Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and will continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here upon this bank and shoulder of time we jump the life to come. But in these cases we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions which being taught return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poison chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then as his host, who should against the murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity, like a naked, newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim, horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. How now, what news?
He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you not, he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which should be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in act and valor as thou art in desire?
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, yet you have made both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now doth unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed its brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail.
We fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him? His two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be as a fume. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men, children only. For thy undaunted mettle should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber, and used their very daggers that they have done?
And who dares receive it other? And we shall make our grief and clamors roar upon his death.
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I take 'tis later, sir.
Hold. Take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. The candles are all out. Take thee that too. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's there?
A friend.
What, sir, not yet at rest? The king's abed. He hath been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. With this diamond he greets your wife withal by the name of most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect, which else should free have wrought.
All's well. I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you they've showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet when we could entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business, if you would grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent when 'tis, it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I shall be counseled.
Good. Repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The like to you.
Go bid thy mistress. When my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger which I see before me, the handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not, fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat oppressed brain? I see thee yet. In form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshalest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade in dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There is no such thing! It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now, o'er the one-half world nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder, alarmed by his sentinel, the wolf, whose howls his watch, thus with his stealthy pace moves like a ghost. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps which way they walk. For fear thy very stones prate of my whereabout, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it. Whiles I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell which summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace! It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman that gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are opened, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Sleep no more. Sleep, Macbeth.
Alack! I am afeard they have awaked, and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss 'em. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done't. My husband!
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now!
As I descended.
Aye.
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donald Bane.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh and sleep, and one cried murder that they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us and amen. The other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening their fear, I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could not I pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought of after this way, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder, sleep. The innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care. The death of each day's life, so labor's bath. Balm of hurt minds, chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house! Glamis hath murdered sleep. And therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
My worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of these things. Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hands. No! Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleeping grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I am afraid to think what I have done. Look on't again. I dare not.
Infirm of purpose. Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears the painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? Oh, they pluck out mine eyes. Would all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No! This my hand would rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. There's a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark! More knocking! Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake, Duncan, with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
Here's a fine knocking indeed. If a man were porter of Hellgate, he would have old turning the key. Knock, knock, knock! Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Here's a farmer who hanged himself on the expectation of plenty come in time. Have napkins enough about you? Here, you'll sweat for it. Knock! Knock. Who's there? In the other devil's name. Here's Faith, here's an equivocator. One that could swear in both the scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate into heaven. Come in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock! Who's there? Faith, here's an English tailor come hither for stealing out of a French hose. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock. Never a quiet. What are you? This place is too cold for hell. I'll devil porter it no further. I had thought to let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon! Anon! I pray you remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing till the second cock.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir, at the very throat of me, but I requited him for his lie, and I think, being too strong for him, though he did take up my legs sometime, yet I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring?
Huh?
Our knocking has awaked him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in physics pain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, which is my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down. And as they say, lamentings heard in the air, strange screams of death, and prophesyings with accents terrible, of dire combustion and confused events new hatched to the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverish and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh. Horror, horror, horror. Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What's the matter?
For confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope the Lord's anointed temple. and stole thence the life of the building.
What does you say the life?
Mean you, His Majesty?
Do not bid me speak. See and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason. Banquo and Donalbain, Malcolm, awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself. Up, up, and see the great doom's image! Malcolm, Banquo, as from your graves rise up and walk like sprites to countenance this horror. Ring the bell.
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of this house? Speak! Speak!
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo! Banquo! Our royal masters murdered.
Oh, alas! Here in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear dove, I prithee contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For from this instant there's nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lees is left this vault to brag of.
What is the myth?
You are and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal fathers murdered.
By whom?
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done. Their hands and faces were embadged with blood, as were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate, and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? The expedition of my violent love outrun the pause of reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gash stabs looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. There, the murderers steeped in the colors of their trade, the daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain? That had a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make his love known.
Help me, Hans!
Oh, look to the lady! And when we have our naked frailties hid, at supper and exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence, against the undivulged pretense, I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
And so
all. Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet to the hall together.
Well contented.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. I'll to England.
To Ireland I. Our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers and men's smiles.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse, let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft which steals itself when there's no mercy left.
$70 I can remember well, within the volume of which time I've seen hours dreadful, and things strange, but this sore night hath trifled former knowings.
Good Father, thou seest the heavens, as troubled with man's acts, threaten his bloody stage. By the clock 'tis day, yet dark night strangles the traveling lamp. This night's predominance or the day's shame, that darkness does the face of earth entomb when living light should kiss it.
'Tis unnatural, e'en like the deed that's done. On Tuesday last, a falcon, towering in her pride of place, was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed.
And Duncan's horses, Thing most strange and certain, beauteous and swift, the minions of their race turned wild in nature. And they broke their stalls, flung out, contending against obedience as they would make war with mankind.
'Tis said they ate each other.
They did so, to the amazement of mine eyes which looked upon. Here comes the good Macduff. How goes the world now, sir?
Why, see you not?
Is known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas the day. What good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donald Bane, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still. Thriftless ambition that will raven up thine own life's means. Then 'tis most likely the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where's Duncan's body?
Carried to Comkill, sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No. Cousin, out to Fife?
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu. Lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell, good father.
God's benison go with you, and with those that would make good of bad, and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Glamis, all as the weird women promised. And I fear thou playest most foully for it. Yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why, by the verities in thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with a most indissoluble tie, forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
We had else desired your good advice, which still hath been both grave and prosperous in this day's council. But we'll take tomorrow. Is far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper. Go not my horse the better, I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour, twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We here, our bloody cousins, are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their ears with strange invention. But of that tomorrow, when we shall have cause of state craving us jointly. Hie you to horse. Adieu till you return at night. Goes Fleance with you.
Aye, my good lord, our time is full upon.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time alone. Well then, God be with you. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace
Bring
gate.
them before us.
Yes.
To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus, our fears in Banquo stick deep. And in that royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me and bade them speak to him. Then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown and put a barren scepter in my grip, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them the gracious Duncan have I murdered, put rancors in the vessel of my peace, only for them, and mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man to make them kings. The seed of Banquo kings. Who's there? Now go to the door and stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your
Well,
highness.
then now have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he in times past who held you so under fortune which you thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you in our last conference.
You made it known to us.
I did so, and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go?
We are men, my liege.
In the catalog ye go for men, as hounds, greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, shows, water rugs, and demi-wolves are clept, all by the name of dogs. The valued file distinguishes the swift, the slow, the subtle, the housekeeper, the hunter, everyone according to the gift which bounteous nature hath in him closed, and so of men. Now, if you have a station in the file, not in the worst rank of manhood, say it, and I will put that business in your bosoms whose execution takes your enemy off. Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, yes, my lord.
So is he mine, and in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. And though I could, with barefaced power, sweep him from my sight, and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not. For certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down. And thus it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye, for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Your spirits shine through you. Within this hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time. The moment on for must be done tonight. And something from the palace. Always thought that I require a clearness. And with him, to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. Fleon's his son that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved.
My lord.
Abide within. I'll call upon you straight. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Naught's had. All's spent, wherein our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts that should have died with them they think on? Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor Malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint, both the world suffer, ere we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Come on, gentle my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I love, and so I pray be you, and make our faces wizards to our hearts, disguising what we are.
You must leave this.
Ah, full of scorpions is my wine, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo and his flayance lives.
But in them nature's copies not etern.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou jocund. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate summons the shard-born beater with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, while night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So, prithee, go with me.
The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the lated traveler apace to gain the timely inn, and near approaches the subject of our watch. Hark! I hear horses!
Give us a light there, ho!
Well, then 'tis he. The rest that are within the note of expectation already are in the court.
His horses go about.
Almost a mile. But he does usually, so all men do from hence to the palace gate make it their walk. A light, a light!
'Tis he. Stand to it.
It'll be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Victory! Fly, good flares, fly!
But who did strike out the light?
Oh, what's not the way? There's but one down. The sun has fled. We've lost the best half of our affair.
Well, that's a way. Say how much is done.
You know your own degrees. Sit down. At first and last, the hearty welcome.
Thanks, Your Majesty.
Ourself will play the humble host and mingle with society. Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time we will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends. For my heart speaks they are welcome.
See, they encounter thee with their heart's thanks. Both sides are even here, I'll sit in the midst. Be large in mirth. Anon, we'll drink a measure the table round. There's blood on thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
'Tis better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That much I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats, yet he's good that did the like for flayance. If thou didst it, thou art the nonpareil.
Most royal sir. Flayance escaped.
Then comes my fit again. I had us been perfect, whole as the marble, founded as the rock is broad, and general as the casing air. But now, in my cabin, cribbed, confined, bound into saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo's safe.
Aye, my good lord, safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenchant gashes on his head, the least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies, the worm that's fled. Hath nature in him that with time venom will breed. No teeth for the present. Get thee gone, tomorrow we hear ourselves again.
My noble lord, you do not give the cheer.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now good digestion, weight on appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness, sit.
Here had we now our country's honor roofed, with a graced person of our Banquo present, who may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please, your highness, to grace us with your royal presence.
The table's full.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my lord. What is that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this?
What, my lord?
Never say I did it! Thou canst not shake thy gory locks at me!
Rise, his highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus and hath been from his youth. Pray you keep seat. If you much note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
And a bold one that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts, impostors to true fear, would well become a woman's story at a winter's fire, authorized by her grandam. Shame itself. Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Prithee, see there! Look, lo, behold, how say you? Why? If thou canst nod, speak too. If charnel houses and our graves must send those that we bury back, our monument shall be the maws of kites! Ah!
What? Quite unmanned in folly?
If I stand here, I saw him!
Fie! For shame!
Blood hath been shed ere now. In the olden time, ere human statute purged the gentle wheel, aye, and since too, murders have been performed too terrible for the ear. The time has been that when the brains were out, the man would die, and there an end. But now they rise again with 20 mortal murders on their crowns and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
Why, worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all, then I'll sit down. Give me some wine, fill full. I drink to the general joy of a whole table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he were here. To all and him we thirst, and all to all.
Our duties and the pledge.
Avaunt! And quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee! Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold, there is no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare I dare? Approach thou like the rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros of the Hyrcan tiger. Take any shape but that, and my firm nerve shall never tremble. Hence, horrible shadow! Unreal mockery, hence! Why, so being gone, I am a man again. Pray you sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with most admired disorder.
Can such things be, and overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange, even to the disposition that I owe. And now I think you can behold such sights, and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
I pray you, speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once. Go!
Good night, and better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move and trees to speak. Augurs and understood relations have by maggot pies and chuffs and rooks brought forth the secretest man of blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which?
How sayest thou that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them, but in his house I keep a servant paid. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak. For now I am bent to know by the worst means the worst. For mine own good all causes shall give way. I am in blood, stepped in so far, that should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go o'er. Strange things I have in head, which will to hand, which must be acted ere they may be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, will to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young, indeed.
My former speeches have but hit your thoughts, which can interpret further. Only I say things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth merry. He was dead. And the right valiant Banquo walked too late, whom you may say, if please you, Fleance killed, for Fleance fled. Oh, man must not walk too late. And who cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damned fact. Oh, how it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not straight in pious rage the two delinquents tear that were the very slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was not that nobly done? Aye, and wisely too, for 'twould have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say, he hath borne all things well. And I do think, had he Duncan's sons under his key, and as it please heaven he shall not, they should know what 'twere to kill a father. And so should Fleance. But peace, for from broad words, and 'cause he failed his presence at the tyrant's feast, I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, Malcolm, from whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in the English court, and is received of the most pious Edward with such grace that the malevolence of fortune nothing holds from him his high respect. Thither Macduff is gone to pray the holy king upon his aid, to wake Northumberland and warlike seaward, that with the help of these and with God above we may ratify the works and give meat to our tables, sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquets' bloody knives. Do faithful homage and receive free honors, all which we pine for now. This report hath so exasperate the king that he prepares for some attempt of war.
Well, sent he to Macduff?
He did, and with an absolute, "Sir, not I," turns him the cloudy messengers back as who should say, "You'll rue the day that clogs me with this answer."
And that might well advise him to a caution, to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Oh, some holy angel, fly to the court of England and unfold this message ere he comes, that a swift blessing may soon return to this all suffering country under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.
the brinded cat had mew.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Harpier cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw, told that under cold stone, day and night hath 31 sweltered venom, sleeping got, boil thou first in the charmed pot. Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing, for a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble.
Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf of the raven salt sea shark, root of a hemlock, digged in the dark, liver of blaspheming Jew, gall of goat and slips of yew, silvered in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk, and Tartar's lips, finger of birth-strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab, make the gruel thick and slab. Add thereto a tiger's chaudron for the ingredients of our cauldron. Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with a baboon's blood. Then the charm is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
How now, you secret, black, and midnight hags, what is't you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess, howe'er you come to know it, answer me.
Speak.
Demand.
Will answer.
Say if thou rather hear it from our mouth or from our masters.
Call him, let me see him.
Pour in sow's blood that had eaten her 9 pharaohs. Grease that sweating from the murder's gibbet, throw into the flame.
Come high or low,
thyself and office deftly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He shall not be commanded. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Whate'er thou art, for thy good caution, thanks. Thou hast harped my fear aright. But one word more.
He shall not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth.
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of men, for none of woman-born shall harm men.
Then live, Macduff, what need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance double sure, and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the round and top of sovereignty?
Proud, and take no care who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquish be, until great burning wood to high Dunsinane hill shall come against him.
That will never be! Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? Sweet bodements good, rebellion's head, rise never till the wood of Burnham rise. And our high place Macbeth shall live the lease of nature, pay his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me, if your art can tell so much, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you. What noise is this? Why sinks the cauldron?
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo down, thy crown to sear mine eyeballs, and thy hair, thou other gold-bound brow, is like the first. A third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? A fourth, starred eyes. What, will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another yet, a seventh, I'll see no more. And yet the eighth appears, who bears a glass that shows me many more. In some I see that twofold balls and treble scepters carry. Horrible sight! And now I see 'tis true, for the blood-boltered Banquo smiles upon me and points at them for his. What? Is this so?
Aye, sir, it is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazedly? Come, sisters, cheer we his sprites and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to make a sound while you perform antics around, that this great king may kindly say, our duties did his welcome pay.
Are they gone? Let this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Come in without there.
What's your grace's will?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horse who once came by.
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word Macduff has fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my good lord.
Time, thou anticipatest my dread exploits. The flighty purpose never is or took, unless the deed go with it. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. And even now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. But no more sights. Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me where they are.
To make him fly the land.
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom. To leave his wife, to leave his babes, to leave his mansion and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in the nest against the owl. All is the fear and nothing is the love. As little as the wisdom where the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest cousin, I pray you school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. Now I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves. I take my leave of you. It shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at the worst must cease, or else climb upward to what they were before. My pretty cousin, blessing upon you.
Fathered he is, and yet he's fatherless.
I am so much a fool, should I stay longer? It would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sira, your father's dead. What will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
What, with worms and flies?
With what I get, I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird. Thou wouldst never fear the net nor lime, the pitfall nor the gin.
Why should I, Mother? Poor birds, they are not set for. My father is not dead, for all you're saying.
Yes, he is dead. Now how wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how you do for a husband.
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you buy him to sell again.
Thou talkst with all thy wit, and yet a faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men. Now God help thee, poor monkey, but how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If you would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Bless you, fair dame. I am not to you known, though in your state of honor I'm perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. If you will take a homely man's advice, be not found here. Hence, hence with your little ones! To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you were fell cruelty, which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserve you. I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I've done no harm. But alas, I remember now I'm in this earthly world, where to do harm often laudable, to do good sometime accounted dangerous folly. Why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense to say I have done no harm? What are these spaces?
Where's your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where thou mayst find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liest, thou shag-haired villain!
What? You egg!
No!
Young fry of treachery!
No!
He has killed me!
No!
Run away.
No! Please, no! No! Please, no! No! No!
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men, bestride our downfall and birthdom. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland, and yelled out like syllable of dolor.
What I believe, I'll wail. What no believe, and what I can redress, as I shall find the time to, friend, I will. What you have spoke, it may be so, perchance. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, and something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry God.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge. Oh, but I shall crave your pardon. What you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul should wear the brows of grace, yet grace must still look so.
I have lost my hopes.
Oh, perchance even there where I did find my doubts. Why in that rawness left you wife and child? Those precious motives, those strong knots of love, without leave taking. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Bleed, poor country. Great tyranny, lay thou thy basis sure. For goodness dare not check thee. Fare thee well, Lord. I would not be the villain that thou think'st, for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp, and the rich east to boot.
Oh, be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right. And here, from gracious England, have I offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer, and more sundry ways than ever by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice so grafted that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless harms.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
Oh, I grant him bloody. Luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name, but better Macbeth than such an one as I to reign, the king becoming graces, as justice, verity, temperance, patience, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting it many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of Concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland, Scotland.
If such an one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live. Oh, nation miserable, with an untitled tyrant bloody sceptered, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again, since that the truest issue of thy throne by his own interdiction stands accursed, and does blaspheme his breed? Thy royal father was a most sainted king. The queen that bore thee, oftener upon her knees than on her feet, died every day she lived. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatest upon thyself have banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, thy hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth hath by many of these trains sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from overcredulous haste. But God above dealed between thee and me. For even now I put myself to thy direction, and unspeak mine own detraction. Here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself, for strangers to my nature. My first false speaking was this upon myself: what I am truly is thine and my poor country's to command. Whither indeed, before thy here approach, old seaward with 10,000 warlike men already at a point was setting forth. Now wheeled together, and our chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once, 'tis hard to reconcile. See, who comes here?
It is my kinsman, yet I know him not.
My ever-gentle cousin. Welcome hither.
Good God, betimes remove the means that make us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. Not be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing but who knows nothing is there seen to smile, where sighs and groans and shrieks that rend the air are made, not marked. Where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy, or the dead men's knell is there scarce asked for who. And good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps, dying or ere they sicken.
Oh, relation, too nice, yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
Out of an hour's age does hiss the speaker, each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well?
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace.
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not ungenerous of speech. How goest?
When I came hither to transport the tidings which I have so heavily borne, there ran a rumor of many worthy fellows that were out, the which was to my knowledge witness the rather, for that I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create us soldiers that make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us 10,000 men, and old Seaward, an older and better soldier none that Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like. But I have words that would be howled out in the desert air where hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? The general cause? Or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some part of the woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, but shall possess them with the heaviest sound that e'er they heard.
Guess at it.
Your castle is surprised, your wife and children savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner were on the quarry of these murdered deer, to add the death of you.
Merciful heavens. What man, ne'er pull your hat upon your brow, give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
My children too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
I must be from thence. My wife killed too?
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones? Did you say all? Oh, hellkite! All? What? All my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop?
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were, that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for thee. Not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine, fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger, blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes, and braggart with my tongue. But gentle heaven, cut short all intermission. Front to front, bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword sling, set him! If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking. The powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. Tell me, when was it last she walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, take forth paper, write on it, read it, afterwards seal it, and then return to bed. Yet all this while in a most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature, to receive at once the benefits of sleep and do the effects of waking. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what, at any time, have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. But, lo, you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her. Stand close.
How came she by that light?
It stood by her. She has light by her continually, 'tis her command.
Well, you see her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sense is shut.
Look what is she does now. Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her, to seem thus washing her hands. I've known her to continue in this a quarter of an hour.
Yet there's a spot.
Hark, she speaks.
Out, damned spot, out, I say. 1, 2, well then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie. A soldier and afeard? What need we fear who knows it when none can call our power to account? Yet, who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What, will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to, you have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not, I'm sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those who have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their beds, but...
Yet here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Oh!
Behold, what a sigh is there. The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well.
Pray God it be, sir.
Wash your hands. Get on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. Cannot come out in's grave.
Even so?
To bed. To bed. There's a knocking at the gate. Come. 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 Come, give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. God, God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance and still keep eyes on her. So good night. My mind she's mated and amazed my sight. I think but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
The English power is near, led on by Malcolm, his uncle Seward, and the good Macduff. Our revenge is burning them. Near Burnham Wood are they coming, that way shall we meet them.
Who knows if Donalbain be with his brother?
For certain, sir, he's not. I have a file of all the gentry. There's Seward's son and many unrough youths that even now protest their first of manhood.
What does the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane, he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad, others that lesser hate him do call it valiant fury. For certain, he cannot buckle his distempered cause within the belt of rule.
Now does he feel his secret murders sticking to his hands. Now minutely revolts upbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish thief.
Well, march we on, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed, to dew the sovereign flower and drown the weeds. Make we our march toward Burnham! To Burnham!
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all. Till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane, I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by, and the heart I bear shall never sag with doubt, nor shake with fear. The devil damn thee black, thou cream-faced loon, where got'st thou that goose look?
There is 10,000.
Geese, villain?
Soldiers, sir.
Go prick thy face, and overred thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. What soldiers, Patch? Death of thy soul, those linen cheeks of thine are counselors to fear. What soldiers, Wayface?
The English force. So please you.
Take thy face hence. Satan! I am sick at heart when I behold. Satan, I say! This push will cheer me ever or deceit me now. I have lived long enough. My way of life is fallen into the sea of the yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age is honor, love, obedience, troops of friends I must not look to have, but in their stead, curses, not loud, but deep, mouth honor, breath, which the poor heart would fain deny and dare not. Satan!
What is your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me mine armor. I'll put it on! Send out more horses. Scur the country round. Hang those that talk of fear. Give me mine armor. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that! Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased? Pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow. Raise out the written trouble of the brain, and with some sweet, oblivious antidote cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart.
Therein, the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physic to the dogs! I'll none of it! Come, put mine armor on. Give me my staff. Satan, send out! Doctor, the thanes fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch! If thou couldst, doctor, Cast the water of my land, find her disease and purge it to a sound and pristine health. I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again. Pull it off, I say. What rhubarb, cyme, or what purgative drug would scour these English hence? Hearest thou of them?
Aye, my good lord, your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death and bane, till Birnam Wood do come to Dunsinane.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe.
We doubted nothing.
What wood is this before us?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the number of our hosts and make discovery in report of us.
It shall be done.
We learn no other, but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane and will endure our setting down before it.
'Tis his main hope. For where there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him but constrained things, whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend to true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we own. Yeah.
Hang out the banners on the outward walls. The cry is still they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here let them lie till famine and the ague eat them up. What is that noise?
It is the cry of women, my good lord.
I have almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would at a dismal treatise rouse and stir as life were in't. I have supped full with horrors. Direness familiar to my slaughterous thoughts cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comes to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Gracious my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath if it be not so. Within this 3 mile you may see it coming. I say a moving grove.
If thou speaks false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive till famine cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost for me as much. I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not, till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane. And now a wood comes toward Dunsinane. Arm, arm, and out. If this which ye avouches does appear, there is nor flying hence nor tarrying here. I begin to be aweary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell. Blow, winds! Come, rack! At least we'll die with harness on our back.
Now near enough. Your leafy screens throw down and show like those you are. You, worthy uncle, shall with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle. Macduff and we shall take upon what else remains to do, according to our order.
Very well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight? Let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath. Those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
They have tied me to a stake. I cannot fly, but bear-like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear or none.
What is thy name?
Thou would be afraid to hear it.
Nay, thou callest thyself a hotter name than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No, no more fearful.
Thou liest! Abhor a tyrant. With my sword I'll prove the lie thou speakst.
Thou wast born of woman. But swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by a man that's of a woman born.
That way the noise is. Tyrant! Show thy face! If thou be slain, and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still.
This way, my lord. The castle's gently rendered. Tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war. The day almost itself professes yours, and little is to do.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword, whiles I see lives, the gashes do better on them.
Turn, hellhound! Turn!
Of all men else I have avoided thee, but get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee out.
Thou losest labor. As easy mayest thou the entrenchant air with thy keen sword impress, as make me bleed. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life, and must not yield to one of woman born.
Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hath served tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Accursed be the tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man. And be these juggling fiends no more believe that palter with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ear and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee, as our rarer monsters are, painted on a pole and under it, here may you seek the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet and to be baited with the rabble's curse. Though Burnham wood do come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed being of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Lay on, Macduff. and damned be him that first cries, "Hold, enough!" Ah! Ah!
I would the friends we miss were safe arrived.
Some must go off, and yet, by these I see so great a day as this is cheaply bought.
Macduff is missing, and your noble son.
Your son, my lord, has paid a soldier's debt. He only lived but till he was a man, the which no sooner had his prowess confirmed in the unshrinking station where he fought, but like a man he died.
Then he is dead.
Aye, and brought off the field. Your sorrow must not be measured by his worth, for then it would have no end.
Had he his hurts before?
Aye, on the front.
Why then, God's soldier be he. Had I as many sons as I have hairs, I would not wish them to a fairer death. And so his knell is knolled.
He's worth more sorrow, and that I'll spend for him.
He's worth no more. They say he parted well and paid his score. And so, God be with him. Here comes newer comfort.
Hail, King, for so thou art. Behold, where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, that speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire allow with mine. Hail, King of Scotland! Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves, and make us, even with you, my thanes and kinsmen. Henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor named. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by self and violent hands took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace we will perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once. And to each one whom we invite to see us crowned at Skun,